A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Travel restrictions will not be relaxed until 7th June. Government decides. Legal action against the owners of the Express Pearl will be taken immediately, police spokesman assures. News in detail. The National Operations Centre for the Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak declared today that the ongoing island-wide travel restrictions would not be relaxed on May 31st and June 4th. Commander of Army General Shavendra Silva stressed that the constraints will continue until 4 a.m. on the 7th of June without being eased midway. Head of National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak and Commander of Army General Shavendra Silva reported that divisional secretariats and district secretariats had been instructed to provide mobile services for people to acquire needed commodities. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana stated to the media at a press conference held today evening that along with the identifying information, a letter from the firm certifying the individual's service is needed to report to work. He further highlighted that these verifications may be made electronically and that these precautions were put in place to prevent individuals from misusing the company's information. Sri Lanka is seeing a significant increase in COVID-19 instances as the country faces the third wave, bringing the total number of confirmed coronavirus infections to 174,862, with 2,572 new cases reported yesterday. The overall number of patients in the nation comprises 4,249 Sri Lankan returnees from overseas and 318 foreigners. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena has confirmed 27 more COVID-related deaths in Sri Lanka yesterday. As a result, the overall number of COVID-19 related fatalities in Sri Lanka has climbed to 1,298. According to Health Promotion Bureau statistics, more than 31,073 people are under treatment for COVID-19 at the hospitals in Sri Lanka, with 143,789 being the cumulative number of COVID-19 cases recovered and discharged in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's directions, the Secretary to the President, Dr. P.B. Jayasundara, issued a special gazette notification yesterday designating port, fuel, public transport, central bank, state banking institutions and Grama Niladaris as essential services. This was done to guarantee that important services to be given to the public constantly and without interruption through the pandemic and travel restrictions. It also focuses on the COVID-19 prevention health guidelines as well as the services provided by health workers and security forces to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, including quarantine procedures. Meanwhile, authorities made the most arrests connected to quarantine legislation infractions in a single day yesterday. According to the police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana, 829 more people were detained for failing to follow health precautions and quarantine requirements while out in public. In collaboration with Satosa, Trade Minister Bandula Gunawardena launched the hotline in 1998 to allow consumers to order commodities from Satosa during the travel restriction period. Speaking at a media event in Colombo today, the minister stated that the 10 necessary items will be sold at a price of 1,000 rupees beginning from next Monday, 31st of May.
සතෝසේ 1.9.9.8ට දුරකථනයෙන් ඇනවුම ලබා දුන්නොත් ඔබේ නිවසට ගෙන දීමේ කාර්යය කරනවා ලබන 31 වෙනිදා වන විට අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා රුපියල් 1000කට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය භාණ්ඩ වර්ග 10ක් සපයන්න.
As the country faced the third coronavirus outbreak, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka announces credit relief to vulnerable borrowers by giving specific exemptions. According to a recent central bank circular, licensed banks may, upon request, grant concessions to firms and people impacted by the third wave in such a way that the total benefits to the custodian are maximized. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has requested licensed commercial banks and licensed specialized banks to provide additional concessions to COVID-19 impacted enterprises and people in order to overcome the obstacles experienced as a result of the third wave of COVID-19. According to the circular, existing credit facilities in the performance category will be deferred or restructured as of May 15, 2021. The licensed banks shall defer recovery of capital, interest or both of the existing credit facilities of borrowers affected by the third wave of COVID-19 on a case-by-case basis until 31st August 2021. Moreover, deferment of capital, interest or both shall be allowed for one or more of the current loan facilities given in rupees or foreign currencies, taking into account the qualifying borrower's financial challenges and repayment capabilities. In the event of any rupee facilities considered for the aforementioned deferral, licensed banks may charge an interest rate that does not exceed the 364-day Treasury bill auction rate as of 19 May 2021 plus 1% per annum. Licensed banks must extend the due dates of revolving credit facilities, including but not limited to working capital, pawning, temporary overdrafts, and short-term trade financing facilities until 31st August 2021. On the other hand, penal interest will not be accumulated or assessed during the concessionary period, which runs from 15th May 2021 to 31st August 2021. Licensed banks must facilitate any request from impacted customers to postpone loan repayment deadlines by up to 10 working days owing to persistent travel restrictions. The circular further states that the borrowers who are presently receiving lease repayment deferral under circular numbers 3 and 4 are not eligible for the aforesaid incentives. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
මේ දවස්වල ඔබ ජීවිතේ නවතීවී කියා අනියත බියකින්ද ඈත ඉස්පිරිතාලයකට වඩා ගෙයි ස්තෝප්පුව වටිනවා. හුස්ම පිඹින යන්ත්‍රයකට වඩා හුස්ම පරිස්සම් කරන මුඛාවරණයක් වටිනවා. ප්‍රතිකාරයට වඩා ප්‍රවේශම වටිනවා. නිතර දෑත් සෝදන්න. මුහුණ නිතර අතගන්න එපා. දුරින් ඇසුරු කරමු. නිවස අපේ ජීවිතේ නවාතැන කරගනිමු. ජීවිතේ සීනයට වාසනාවේ ආශිර්වාදය. NLB.
Welcome back after the break. The Ministry of Finance and the World Bank recently signed an agreement to support the agriculture sector modernization project with a fresh funding from the European Union. This grant is part of the European Union's €25 million contribution to the $125 million initiative, which will be managed by the World Bank. Since its commencement in 2016, the agriculture sector modernization project has aided the government of Sri Lanka in its efforts to promote agriculture production, raise the value addition of smallholder farmers and agribusinesses, and enhance their access to markets. The initiative also encourages agricultural diversification and technological advancements. So far, the initiative has benefited over 48,000 smallholder farmers around the country and produced over 1,500 new employment through investments in agribusiness organizations. World Bank Country Director for Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Fariz H. Haddad Sherwoz, in a statement said that the agriculture is critical to the Sri Lankan economy and that the World Bank will continue to collaborate with all partners to support inclusive and resilient growth by improving agricultural production, farmers' income and job creation in the sector. This additional investment will assist Sri Lanka in preparing for COVID-19 recovery by increasing export income and establishing high-quality employment in agro-processing. It will also contribute to the expansion of options for inclusive livelihood assistance in rural communities as well as the provision of critical food products. A total of 25,000 more beneficiaries are scheduled to be assisted, including 6,000 direct members of farmer-producer organizations. The present World Bank portfolio in Sri Lanka includes 19 active projects totaling $2.33 billion in a range of areas such as transportation, urban development, agriculture, water education and health. So far, the EU has given Sri Lanka about €1 billion in funding to assist and accompany local initiatives for recovery and reform processes in a variety of areas such as poverty reduction, democratic governance, local development and agriculture. Despite totally extinguishing the raging fire, the Sri Lankan Air Force reports that plumes of smoke continue below from the MV Express Pearl outside Colombo Harbour. A joint operation commanded by the Sri Lankan Navy, the Sri Lanka Air Force and the Indian Coast Guard has been in full swing for the past few days to suppress the fire aboard the Singapore-registered cargo ship. The MV Express Pearl, registered in Singapore, carrying chemicals and cosmetics, has been on fire for 8 days off the Colombo harbour. The fire is thought to have originated as a result of a chemical reaction in a nitric acid shipment that was loaded on May 15th at the port of Hazira, India. While fighting out the fire appeared to be a success at first, however, the fire erupted in severity on Tuesday, forcing all 25 crew members and a salvage team to flee the ship. 2 crew members were injured during the evacuation, and a health report showed that one of them tested positive with COVID-19. Oil and debris from the ship have blanketed beaches on the country's west coast, raising concerns about the long-term environmental effects. State Minister of Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Public Sanitation, Dr. Nalaka Godaheva, addressed the media at a news conference held this afternoon and strongly denied speculations that the ship will break in half and plunge into the ocean. Furthermore, the minister refuted claims that the Sri Lankan government was aware of a distress situation aboard the ship as it approached Sri Lankan ports. The Marine Environment Protection Authority had filed a complaint with the Colombo Harbour Police about the contamination of the waters caused by the Express Pearl's fire. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that legal action against the owners of the Express Pearl would be taken immediately after the inspections. The head of research at First Capital Holdings, Dimantha Matthews, says that the week saw volatility due to the low investor interest placed in the market. However, according to the First Capital Holdings, there was a gradual increase in the material sector this week with the COVID situation in Sri Lanka being under control. Speaking to the Art Television exclusively, he states that the stock market will show an improvement in retail activities with an increase in the overall turnover levels in the upcoming week.
Overall, it was a bit of a mixed week, basically with ups and downs. What we experienced was as the week progressed, the market was sort of on a gaining trend where investor confidence was gradually improving simply because of the COVID situation coming under control. So with that, what we experienced was that there was a bit of a gradual improvement in overall activity in the market or investor interest in the market. However, turnover levels actually saw a bit of a reduction in the market with some of the investors waiting on the sidelines with the week being a bit short, and also to see whether there will be a complete settlement of the COVID situation in the current week. In the upcoming week also, we feel that there will be strong buying interest coming in because with the travel restrictions, we are seeing a reduction in the number of positive patients, and that is likely to positively affect the market. And with the strong earnings that is also coming in, we feel that the buying interest will be there in the banking, insurance and export-related companies mainly. Activity-wise, we feel that retail activity will also start to improve in the coming week, and overall turnover levels with that is likely to increase.
We'll be right back with the stock updates.
දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට My SLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව.
හලෝ. දැන් ඔයා හිතන්නේ හැමදේම වෙනස් වුණේ කොහොමද කියලානේ? උත්තරේ මගේ ළඟ තියෙනවා. නෑකම් ඕනෑකම් හඳුනගත්තා. අපිවම වෙනස් කරගන්න ක්‍රම හෙව්වා. අලුත් බීජ පැල කෙරුවා. හිතුනේ ඒක කරන්න බෑ වගේ තමයි. හැබැයි ඒක කරන්න පටන් ගන්නකම් විතරයි. ඒක දැවැන්ත එකමුතුවක්. අපි හැදුනේ එකම සබැඳියාවක බැඳීමෙන්. හැමදේම හොඳ වුණේ සබැඳියාවේ හැදීමෙන්. අපි මෙතනට ආවේම එකම එක සබැඳියාවක රැඳීමෙන්. ගෙදරට වැඩකට ගමනට එකම එක සබැඳියාවක බැඳෙන මුළු මහත් රටකට. Good morning sir, how can I help?
SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැඳියාව.
ටෙක්ස්ටෝරියම් අංකානෝනාවය කෙලින් වීදිය කුළඹ 11.
හලෝ. දැන් ඔයා හිතන්නේ හැමදේම වෙනස් වුණේ කොහොමද කියලානේ? උත්තරේ මගේ ළඟ තියෙනවා. නෑකම් ඕනෑකම් හඳුනගත්තා. අපිවම වෙනස් කරගන්න ක්‍රම හෙව්වා. අලුත් බීජ පැල කෙරුවා. හිතුනේ ඒක කරන්න බෑ වගේ තමයි. හැබැයි ඒක කරන්න පටන් ගන්නකම් විතරයි. ඒක දැවැන්ත එකමුතුවක්. අපි හැදුනේ එකම සබැඳියාවක බැඳීමෙන්. හැමදේම හොඳ වුණේ සබැඳියාවේ හැදීමෙන්. අපි මෙතනට ආවේම එකම එක සබැඳියාවක බැඳෙන මුළු මහත් රටකට. Good morning sir, how can I help?
SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැඳියාව.
හලෝ. දැන් ඔයා හිතන්නේ හැමදේම වෙනස් වුණේ කොහොමද කියලානේ? නෑකම් ඕනෑකම් හඳුනගත්තා. අපිවම වෙනස් කරගන්න ක්‍රම හෙව්වා. අලුත් බීජ පැල කෙරුවා. හිතුනේ ඒක කරන්න බෑ වගේ තමයි. හැබැයි ඒක කරන්න පටන් ගන්නක. අපි හැදුනේ එකම හොඳ වුණේ සබැඳියාවේ හැදීමෙන්. අපි මෙතනට ආවේම එකම එක සබැඳියාවක රැඳීමෙන්. ගෙදරට වැඩකට ගමනට එකම එක සබැඳියාවක බැඳෙන මුළු මහත් රටකට. Good morning sir, how can I help?
SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැඳියාව.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained by 55.18 points to close at 7,333.42 and the S&P SL20 gained by 29.84 points to close at 2,955.71. The turnover was 2.8 billion rupees and over 147 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all we have for today. Join with us on Monday at 7:45 p.m. Until then, have a great weekend. Take care. Good night.